This is from the Bleacher Report. NFL free agents who could blow up with new teams in 2024. They go wide receiver Darnell Mooney. Mooney was healthier this season, continued to flash his ability to create separation. Lack of volume prevented the 26-year-old from making much of an impact. Should have a bounce-back year if he lands on a pass-heavy offense. Can shine as dangerous deep threat, also able to move the chains. They also say running back Zach Moss. Spot Track estimating his market value to be just $4.6 million annually. Some team might get a great deal on Moss this spring. Fred, I think those are two areas the Browns will probably look to in free agency. Do Mooney or Moss intrigue you at all?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'd have to look a little deeper into them, but just seeing Andrew Berry since he's been here in free agency, he was very aggressive the first year, going getting Austin Hooper, who was a tight end. I don't really remember seeing him going after any big name wide receiver because they usually get out of the budget quickly. It seems like the free agent wide receivers get overpaid. He's been more of a guy that has kind of come in second or third tier. You think of Marquise Goodwin, 1-year deal type of situation. Trade would be a more logical way. You think you get Amari Cooper. Obviously, the Cowboys wanted to unload him because of the $20 million contract, but you gave up a 5th-round pick, and you've been able to restructure, to have your number one receiver. As far as Mooney, yeah, I think that he could be a great addition, wide receiver. I think that you're going to try to get Deshaun Watson all the weapons in the world. I mean, I've done this free agent outlooks for years, and I'll tell you, it seems like the guys that are listed at this time of the year in January never make it to free agency. A lot of times they get re-signed by their team or they get franchised or whatever. But I haven't studied the list, but off the top of my head, a guy like T. Higgins seemed like he would be a home run because you'd be hurting the Bengals and you're giving Watson a top tier guy who was not a number one with the Bengals, and he might be able to fit into the budget as well. But then again, he hits free agency, that could be a different ball game. As far as running back, I think I have a story coming out tomorrow about the Browns running backs. I think all eyes are on Nick Chubb this offseason. We all know he's got a major injury he's coming off of. He's got a $15 million no guarantee contract, and the Browns are going to do right by him. But you don't know if you're getting a 6.1 per carry Nick Chubb or you're getting a 2.8. There's no question in my mind he's going to return, but it's hard to, speculate what type of production he's going to be able to give you. And so how do you make a decision there? You cannot just assume he's going to be the same Pro Bowl back next year, even if you bring him back. And if you don't, you just stay with Jerome Ford and Pierre Strong, basically. They're under contract. So Zach Moss could be very intriguing. We've seen running backs don't get the big free agent money, and that's caused some consternation. And that's really what happened with Jonathan Taylor. And after he got upset and sat out and asked to be traded, then he got the big contract. So you would think the Colts aren't going to be able to keep Moss, nor would Moss want to stay there. So it is a major decision the Browns have to make, and you don't want to upset Chubb, by signing a big name guy. All the way around, it's very delicate, but I understand you got to walk the fine line. You just can't, out of good feeling, say, well, we're going to go with Chubb and hope he comes back. Look at Kareem Hunt. He very hard runner, led the team. But, he averaged 3.0 yards a carry. He was basically a short yard back. He gave you all you had for 1 or 2 yards, but his longest run of the year was 16 yards. And so you got to have an explosive threat. And I don't know if they feel Jerome Ford is it, or they see Pierre Strong is developing into that good enough role to be the backup if Chubb's not ready.